It is March 27th, and we're here to talk about Impact Wrestling. Two shows this time. This is the Wrestling Guild. Okay, Nick, how are you doing? It's been such a long time.
This has really been a long time. Holy smokes! No, but it's good to finally be back in business, back on rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of things have been going on in both our lives. I'm not really sure why we didn't record last week, but it just didn't work out. So we've got two shows, and I'm not really sure. The thing is that so much has happened in these past shows. I mean, I've been writing. I've took my notes on this envelope that I found, and then half of the other show is in here. It's just crazy. But I figured, how would you like to do it? Do we talk about Feast or Fired first, and then we talk about like Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callihan? Like over the both shows instead of doing one show each.
I mean, we could do a combo.
Yeah,
I think that's better because yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with the first thing, which is Feast or Fired. How did you feel about seeing? Yeah, how did you feel about seeing JB back? I mean, this was before he left.
Yeah. No, it's nice to see him again in that, but I mean, I think our commentators are pretty good.
The commentators are good. I actually like Sanjay Dutt and the Josh Matthews kind of vibe. Their back and forth is nice. Then, of course, there is a little bit of an issue because Sanjay Dutt still, like, sometimes it's quiet, and he just like doesn't say anything.
And sometimes he goes for Josh. And like, says,
well, that's
like,
fun. Well,
it is good.
Well, it's the same.
He sucks.
It's the same a little bit like Scott D'Amore and Josh, where they kind of have a back and forth, and it's always fun with a little bit more banter. But I must say that I also like the fact that Sanjay Dutt has a little bit more character to his voice.
Yeah,
he reacts, and as we said before, like the fact that he reacts, and I like the fact that he knows the moves.
Yeah, obviously.
He's calling out the moves. But if we talk about the Feast or Fire, we had JB was backstage in the beginning presenting Feast or Fired. And then the next Feast or Fired thing that we got on the first episode, March 15th, was that we had a GWN flashback from Feast or Fired.
Yeah.
How did you like that? That was, and I think this was a good idea. This was a good thing because you've never seen a Feast or Fired before.
No.
I have. This is the first time it's Feast or Fired, I think, on Pop TV or in this new regime. So there's a lot of new people that aren't going to see it. So how did you like this? A lot of Curryman was there. Your new favorite,
Curryman. Yeah, that was a big plus. That's why the match was good.
Well, I mean, if you were to compare this Feast or Fired with the Feast or Fired that was later that show, there was a lot more speed to it.
But the thing is, the old school one, it's still more hard hitting.
I mean, I think it is. It's a combination of the type of wrestlers that they have, because in essence, it was almost more of an X Division match.
So much. There's so many wrestlers at once. It's insane. It's really insane.
Really insane.
Yeah. So I quite like these matches. You know, a lot of stuff is happening at once, and it's just so much action. It's action upon action.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in this Feast or Fired, we had Hernandez, who got case number 1, and he was from LAX. One of the original versions of LAX was actually Homicide and Hernandez and Conan, but Conan had left by this time. Conan had actually had a little bit of issues with Impact, and he was suing them because he thought that they were racist. Yes,
that guy.
Conan.
Out of everyone, he says very serious. Okay.
Yeah. So Hernandez got case number 1. Then Curryman got one case, which was fun.
Wait, where is a side note? Just where is Curryman right now?
He's in ROH, but he's in his
ROH.
regular persona, which
No
was
Curryman then.
no, he's Christopher Daniels. And the fun thing is that the year before, I think it was Feast or Fired, Christopher Daniels had got fired, and that's how he became Curryman. He came back as Curryman, and in this Feast or Fired flashback, in this he gets fired again as Curryman. He gets fired, yeah, and then Christopher Daniels actually comes back.
They really hate him. Why?
I just think it was funny. Anyway, Curryman, Homicide gets a case, and Jay Lethal takes a case, and I think he gets a tag team shot. Hernandez gets a world heavyweight champion shot, and Homicide got a X Division shot. Anyway, so that was kind of fun. So if we were to jump close, we can jump all the way to the Feast or Fired match main event, which was the main event of that night. We had KM, Eli Drake, Rohit Raju, Tyrus, EC3, Petey Williams, Caleb Conley, Trevor Lee, Moose, and Ishimori. So if you were to compare these two matches with each other, what did you...
Between the old school one and this one, we
Yeah.
got... I mean, both. I can't really say that the new one was bad. It was good.
Yeah, it was
We
good.
had a lot of action. And same as the old school one, there was a lot of action, a lot of wrestlers, it's chaotic. But maybe you could be a more hard-hitting, like we always say. I don't know. What do you say?
Well, the thing is that you have a different type of athlete in the newer Feast or Fired. I mean, if you look at KM, it's a huge dude. Eli Drake, big dude. Tyrus, EC3, Trevor Lee, Moose. I mean, they're all bigger dudes, so it becomes a different type of match. But I mean, I think they were just as good. Eli Drake really brought it out. Just gravy trained everybody. I think this actually showed off Eli Drake really well as compared to many of the others in the match. Don't you think?
Oh shit! Yeah, it's just that Eli. He's such a good person. Like, no, but he was good.
Yeah. So in the end, Eli Drake gets a case, EC3 got a case, Petey Williams got a case, and Moose got a case.
And that pretty much. I mean, you could already.
Well, if you knew that EC3 had left Impact, yes, you knew that he was going to bite it. Which is fun because the show that we saw last week, then they interviewed every single case guy, and that was fun. And then EC3, when he was interviewed last. Everybody kept walking past him saying that he was going to get fired. That was funny.
No.
And Ishimori just showed up for no reason. He just showed up. So
where's the other guy? That guy that always waits.
Oh,
to get
yeah. Richard Justice was there.
He's like, fire.
And it's funny because Richard Justice and EC3 come from the same era. They both come from like Cleveland, and they've been in the same independent. So they're actually buddies.
It's funny because Eli's trying to actually like make a good interview, like
EC3, you mean?
Oh yeah, EC3, and then it's quality.
Yeah. So that was a little foreshadowing. So you have Eli Drake when the reveal is all said and done. Eli Drake gets case number 1 and gets a tag team shot, which he didn't like. He was really upset because he didn't have a tag team partner.
He even threw it, right?
He threw it, then he grabbed it again. He grabbed it again. Petey Williams, that was kind of obvious he was going to get an X Division title match. Nothing new there. EC3 and Moose open them each. Moose gets a world title shot, so it's going to be Moose versus whoever wins at Redemption, between Patron or Aries.
Which isn't like a surprise, really, because we know EC3 is going. But the funny thing here is, like, EC3 knows what's up, and he just doesn't want to realize
he doesn't want to open the case. And he held a really, really nice speech at his promo afterwards. Really heartfelt. First of all, he didn't believe it. He was trying to deny it. Then he kind of got passionate about everything that he's done in the business. This doesn't happen to me. He's also talking about that he knew about getting fired because obviously he was fired from the WWE, but he also knew about coming back. And the thing is that he's probably going to have a very good career in the WWE too. Absolutely. And I think that even if it doesn't happen in WWE, he's going to be able to come back to Impact. I think. And then he beat JB with the case, and then he got his ass handed to him by Brian Cage.
It's so funny because they always bring out Brian like, yeah, it's all chaotic. Just finish it, clean him up,
Yeah.
and just takes everyone out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm?
If we go back to the first show, that was the Feast or Fire timeline. Next we had can talk about Sami Callihan and OVE. Sami Callihan faces Falaba. That was it was a good match.
It was a really good match. I mean, you got to think like Sami Callihan compared to Falaba, there's a huge difference between size and like powerfulness
And style.
But still, I think Sami did really good.
Yeah,
here.
Falaba did well too.
Absolutely, but they seem to have a great teamwork between each other, and I'm really surprised that they even have that.
Yeah. Well, Falaba loses. It looks like he's going to win, but he gets hit with a DVD, a Death Valley driver. Sami Callihan actually gets him up on his back.
The
Yeah.
powerfulness.
Yes, and then he's going to go to beat Falaba with the bat, but who comes in and saves him?
Eddie to the rescue.
Eddie comes to the rescue, absolutely. Yeah, so that ends that. This week we got to see OVE stalk Alicia Edwards, who we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, what they're up to? Like these weird ass, these promos they have, where these like small film clips. In,
but
like,
I mean, they're just
close quarters and.
yeah. So they followed her into the hotel room. Eddie sees it, runs off. He comes to the hotel, but Alicia is okay. She sleeps with all her clothes on, which was odd.
I mean, I found that quite weird and terrifying. Like, I don't know. They did it well, maybe. I don't know. The music and everything.
Yeah, that was really. I mean, it was more movie-esque, absolutely. But what? You're upset that she was in her clothes? You would have liked to see.
No, it's just a theme. I mean, I'm thinking Impact. I'm not going to get scared. It's just going to be
Oh,
power.
were you afraid?
Well, it was a bit dark outside as well, so it's. Had to maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that happened. But then, Alicia's okay. He leaves. You just go back to bed. How are you going to go back to bed when somebody rips your sheets off and scares the shit out of you?
Yep. Great question.
Yeah, anyway, but Alicia's okay. Eddie Edwards goes to leave, but Sami Callihan, he's dressed up as the.
Oh yeah.
He has a second job, cleans hotel rooms, in drag.
But what's the point of this, really?
Well, I mean, obviously it was a point to lure Eddie Edwards. I think, not that to think that his wife was going to get threatened, and then he gets there, and then they ambush him. But Alicia says he's called the cops and comes in for the save. So that, I mean, they're really ramping up the intensity here, and that's actually quite good. And Eddie Edwards has signed a new deal with Impact, so he's going to be sticking around.
Which is good, because
Yeah.
I mean, we really need someone that is like a high-flying, powerfulness wrestler.
Yeah.
Really.
Next, for last week, it was an interview with Austin Aries. This was really interesting. It was a sit-down interview with Austin Aries. I thought that this was intense. This was really intense and really strange. So Austin Aries is being interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. Patron interrupts. He needs to talk. And he says that he's happy that Aries is there. And that he has a gift, a bottle of wine, and a steak. And Austin Aries just like, no, I'm good. I've got a banana. And then he threatens him he like holds the steak up to his face. And, I'm a sucker for a nice steak. But come on, I wouldn't want to have a steak in my face.
But where did he? Yeah, I don't know. He pulled that banana from somewhere. But,
Yeah, well, anyway.
No, that was really funny.
And then Patron was just like, I get offended if you don't want to eat the steak that I cooked for you.
He brings the whole steak, was it? Like the whole up his face. Oh, it was funny.
It was a good time.
It's just a bit weird, but at the same time, I'm thinking storyline.
Storyline, it was very well executed. It was interesting. It was a new take.
Something different,
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting. And then the last week's Impact opened actually with El Patron coming out, cutting a promo saying that he was ready to fight and that he has a real champion he can face. Austin Aries comes out and cuts a promo, says that they're the same, but that he's the truth. And
typical.
yeah, he doesn't want to play games. That he should that they should fight at Redemption, and yeah, that's basically it. They decide that they're going to fight at Redemption. Yeah, and then they had this really back and forth where they were supposed to play each other's music. The Patron says, play there's music, and off there's like, no, play your music because this is the last time.
I mean, it was maybe a little funny here and there, but
I think they've been really doing this feud between Patron and the whole the Patron and Eddie or the Patron and Aries feud. I think they've done really well. Kind of like a slow,
but it's interesting at the same time. You know,
yeah.
It's,
next, what happened the week before? Yeah, the thing that happened before was that Ali and Kira Hogan talking backstage, and Braxton Sutter interrupts, and he wants to talk to Ali. She don't want to talk to him. And then this week it was Sienna versus Ali in a match, which was really good. Still, I think Sienna is more convincing than Ali in the ring.
The thing is, like, I totally understand that Ali is good. She's evolving. She's been proving herself. She's getting stronger and all that. Sure, but it seemed almost like if Sienna is not even trying.
No.
You know, because you gotta think about it. Because Sienna is really good, but is really Ali better than her?
No, I don't think so.
That's the thing. So the match kind of got a bit dull.
Yeah. And nothing we hadn't seen before. But what is interesting is that Sutter comes up and wants to marry Ali, but he actually says the wrong name. He calls her Laurel.
And that's the funny, because they have Sandra like, ha ha ha. But then we have some new person coming out.
Yes,
Like this.
Ali gets attacked from behind by Su Yun,
Undead what?
the undead bride.
The undead bride.
Well, I mean, this is kind of interesting here because, I mean, she's an independent wrestler, and they brought her into the company. I knew that they were bringing her into the company before, so they're probably going to have a thing between Ali and Su Yun. I mean, it's interesting how they want to do this gimmick again, because I mean, you have Rosemary, who's kind of like
The
undead, demon assassin, and she kind of came into the company like that, that. And before, as we saw in this week's GWN flashback moment, there used to be a wrestler called Daphne. I don't know if you saw the match between Abyss and Mick Foley, the Monsters Ball match that they had a recap of. There was a girl there. They kept referring to her as Zombie Hot.
That was Daphne.
That's Daphne.
Yeah.
And she's also kind of had that goth, dark gimmick.
But do you think this undead bride, is she going to take over Rosemary, or are they going to work together?
I don't know. I think what'll happen is I think you'll see it start. I think you'll start by seeing a feud between Ali and Su Yun, but I think it'll probably move over to Rosemary, because right now Rosemary is feuding with Taya Valkyrie. But we'll see. It's interesting to see where it goes. I thought that Su Yun was a little bit sloppy. It was super convincing.
Yeah, it's true. It was what it was.
It was what it was. And next we have the Jimmy Jacobs versus Jimmy Jacobs and Congo Kong. Jacobs comes out with Kong, says he's innocent, that people are calling him bad names, but he's just a good guy.
Yeah, right.
And he calls for Abyss, and then
we had this
Father James Mitchell.
Abyss's father?
Yes. Well, he is his father in the storyline. They revealed that he was his father, but James Mitchell has been his handler, his manager for like. Yeah, I know. But I mean, he's been in it before. You've seen him before.
I've seen him before. Like, he was like this ghostish.
Yeah.
In the car. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, and he says that Mitchell says that him and Jacobs have a lot in common, and that he got the Abyss for championship gold, but then his personality split, and that he wants to thank Jimmy Jacobs for bringing back the monster, and and Abyss comes out.
We actually see Abyss.
We actually see Abyss.
Finally.
Abyss takes out Kong, and it sets up for a Monsters Ball match. Yeah,
Which we later...
which we will talk about in a moment. But first, this week we had the GWN moment, which was Mick Foley versus Abyss in a Monsters Ball match. How did you like that? With the barbed wire bat and everything like that?
I don't remember... Just one thing. If I don't remember... I think I remember... Yeah. I mean, there was a referee
Yes.
that hit another referee. Was
Stevie
that...
Richards, yes. Stevie Richards, he played a character called Dr. Stevie, who was supposed to be Abyss's psychiatrist.
Yeah, but he's dressed up as a referee.
Yeah, well, he was a special referee for that match. It was actually a way they were doing something. I can't remember the exact storyline, but they were doing something with Abyss. They were trying to get him. They were trying to defeat him somehow. So Stevie Richards, Mick Foley, and Daphne were like in on it together somehow.
Yeah, because there's a referee counting, and he's like, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
and who is it? Oh, another referee.
So yeah,
But
it was fully appropriate with the amount of blood and stuff like that in that Monsters Ball match. Dr. Stevie got driven into thumbtacks. Why did he take his shirt off?
That is a really good question. But yeah, I mean, we actually see like some good competition against Abyss here.
Yeah, in that monster.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley is a hardcore legend. He made his name by doing hardcore stuff like that.
Because we don't usually see. I mean, you don't really find people who can actually face Abyss for real.
No, there's
Usually it's was it Grado? No.
Yeah,
it was Grado, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I was talking about. This. Yeah.
Anyway, and then so that gets us to the Monsters Ball match, which was kind of the main event before Feast or Fired reveals. Congo Kong versus Abyss. How did you like this?
Congo Kong versus Abyss. Finally,
Yeah.
we're here. It was a cool match. I'm really surprised by Congo.
Yeah.
I mean, he for me, he's usually like a slow dude who is powerful but slow. But here we actually see him like running a bit, high flying moves.
I think that the one thing that I didn't really care for was that, like with everything, they show the clip, the GWN clip first, and the problem is that this Monsters Ball match just didn't match up with the Mick Foley Abyss. I mean, with the blood and stuff like that, there's more violence, and you know, and Congo Kong didn't really get hurt that much. I mean, he didn't go into any thumbtacks. He didn't go into any barbed wire.
And this was called a Monsters Ball match.
Yeah, and it wasn't that Monsters Ball-y.
We had no tax. There was no tax.
Didn't they take out tax?
Was there tax?
I thought
It
they
might
did.
be tax.
Yeah, but Abyss went into the tax. I think.
Okay. But at the same time, yeah, we want everyone to go in.
And we want blood.
And we want blood.
We want blood. No blood.
True.
Anyway, it was okay. Congo Kong wins with the splash. He's the new monster. I'm thinking that this is just to get Congo Kong into the championship picture. Because I think that's where it's going. I think Congo Kong is going for the world championship.
Okay. So
It has to be. I mean, because he's hasn't lost anything.
No.
So-
So you're thinking like Alberto and Congo?
No, whoever. I
Bruce
think
and Congo.
I think it'll be a while, but I think we'll see Patron versus Ares. I think Ares wins against Patron, and then maybe that he loses against Moose, and then it'll be Moose and Congo Kong in that program.
That'll be interesting. I mean, see if he can take it.
Yeah. The week before we had Taya Valkyrie versus Rosemary. How did you like that?
I mean, I really like Rosemary, sure, and she is good, and she did well in this match, but the thing is that Valkyrie she's name is that right?
Yeah,
That's her name?
Taya Valkyrie.
Talia. Yeah, she is just too good.
Yeah,
I mean-
she's having a hard time. This time they both got DQ'd. And then Valkyrie hits the road to Valhalla on the ramp again. So that's 2 losses for Rosemary, basically, or 2 being taken out at least. So,
But it didn't. It wasn't satisfying for you because
it was okay. It was okay. I wasn't too satisfied with it. Hopefully, we'll see better at Redemption, which is what I think. Yeah. So actually, we're done with last week. This week's March 22nd's episode. Everything was done. We still have a lot that happened on March 15th. Eli Drake makes a phone call in the back before the Feast of Fire match to Chris Adonis. Chris Adonis isn't coming.
Why aren't you coming?
I know. And then we have Lashley approaching Cage.
That was good. That was
good?
some real talk. Like he was actually saying, like, if I need help, like I will tell you. They just don't come and help me when I don't need it, and I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And, like Cage getting a bit pissed off, and he stands up face to face. It was
and
good.
this week, this Thursday is Cage versus Lashley. Yeah. Anyway, then we also see LAX in the clubhouse. Homicide brings some suitcase filled with cash, but they don't believe that. They say it's light.
There's always money when you.
I know.
It's so funny.
Basically, they were just there so we wouldn't forget that LAX actually is a team that exists. And then we had Matt Sydal coming to the ring, cuts a promo. He's going to talk about his one true spirit guide. Did you think that this was a spirit guide?
He was kind of going for that theme with the spirit and owned by Yayo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But why is Josh helping him? Since when is Josh his assistant?
Well, he just said that he found the inner peace, and now he was helping Matt Sydal, which was weird. I'm going to say Sanjay Dutt complained about Josh Matthews' outfit in this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I would. Who the hell has a coat without sleeves? And then he had a scarf on that like dangled in the bottom. I don't know. That was a real. This one true spirit guy needs to get new duds.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, Josh Matthews gives Matt Sydal a mask, which is his spirit animal. I can't remember what Sanjay Dutt called it, but he called it something.
Yeah, he's like, who gives a mask?
He was just pissed. Sydal gives the Grand Championship to Matthews, so our new Grand Champion is Josh Matthews.
But then who was he actually facing?
He didn't face anybody.
No,
they just left.
Oh, okay.
He just came out because it was this week that he faced Rohit Raju.
No, okay.
And it was a decent match. But I still think, I don't know why they're pushing Rohit Raju. I don't think because he was in the Feast of Fire match, he was in this match, we saw him at one night, we saw him, not a one night only, but another. But I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get what they see in him. I just think he's not interesting enough.
He's quite bad. When he was in Feast of Fire, he got kind of fudged, and now with Matt Sydal, he got kind of fudged. So he's not really showing that he's so powerful and whatnot. So I really don't know. Like you say, well, why are they still going for him?
Yeah, I don't know. They need to give him something more if we're going to care about him. Right now, I just don't care about Rohit Raju.
Improving himself.
Yes. Anyway, it ends. Sydal hits the shooting star press, and then now we've basically gone through 2 shows.
Just like that.
That's like that. Have you liked these 2 shows?
I think the first one, the week before.
Yeah.
Or the week before. It was okay. Oh no, it was good. It was good. But the thing is that they were talking a lot. I don't know if it was because of storyline, but they were talking a lot. I didn't see any really really good matches besides Feast of Fire. But
I thought that these two shows were really good. They really
Okay.
complemented each other. Although I did think that this last week, the March 22nd show, was better,
Thank you very much.
than the March 15th show. But they were both good. I think they're both like B pluses for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I'll say C first and then B plus.
Okay.
I was really satisfied with this. Yet, no blood on that on this one. Sure.
And the
But,
thing is that, as Impact mentioned on their Twitter, that they've had actually like the best couple of these last 3 shows or 3 weeks have been really like the best weeks. They've been constantly having good viewership numbers. Hopefully they can get over 400,000. I think that would be a big step if they could do that. Because they're still like lingering in the 350s, 360s. They could get more, but their Global Wrestling Network app has been getting a lot more attention, and YouTube views have been really good and steady.
No, I mean, it looks like it's going really good for
Yeah.
Impact, and they're stepping up their game. They
Yeah.
changed, they still have that huge screen with Sanjay.
Yeah, that's good.
So I mean, they're trying.
Yeah. And the thing is too that we're only a couple of weeks away from WrestleMania, which means WrestleCon, which is when they're going to have Lucha Underground versus Impact.
I mean, last year's WrestleMania was good. It was good.
Really?
We had. Didn't you think so? We talked about WrestleMania.
Did we? No, aren't you talking about like Bound for Glory?
No, we talked. I swear
Or
to God.
Slammiversary? I don't think we talked about WrestleMania. I don't watch WrestleMania.
Okay, maybe. Well, okay. We have talked about.
We probably talked about WrestleMania, but we didn't talk about WrestleMania. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, Nick, this has been, as always, a pleasure. You can follow us if you're. I mean, you can follow us. And you, the listeners at home, can follow us on SoundCloud and Stitcher, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Give us a follow, give us a holler.
A comment, whatever.
Comments,
Something.
send Nick some flowers.
Yeah, I like flowers, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I didn't do our introduction in the beginning. I didn't say who we are.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, this is Nick Anderson. My name is Chris Barry Holtzman. This has been the Wrestling Guild. We'll talk on Tuesday about this week's Impact. And you know what? We also have to talk about. Maybe we could do it on like Friday or something like that next week. March Breakdown, the one night only on GWN.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, why the hell not?
Why the hell not? I mean, just go for it.
Say bye, Nick.
Bye, guys.